Hi there. This is Dr. Natalie Woods with Nata Woods and Friends, coming to you continuing the relationship series. I just did a video clip where I summarized a lot of the topics that I had covered the last few months. I decided to come back today and talk about one of the top three things that can cause challenges in a relationship, and that is communication. I've mentioned in several of the tapes or several of the clips where communication is key, but I also mentioned that men and women communicate differently, and I also mentioned that women, for the most part, and again, let me say this: when I don't want to be accused of generalizing. I don't want to assume that everyone does this or that. But for when I talk about it, I'm just saying in most cases, most women or most men, but not all. But in a lot of cases, women feel like men should know what's going on with them. They feel like, or we feel like, if you love us, you should be able to read between the lines and you should know what I need and what's going on. And a lot of times, men don't know. We have to tell them, and it's our responsibility to tell them. We don't need to have them figure out what's going on when we could just tell them because we know what's going on. If we can tell them and we can articulate what it is, we should do the very best that we can to communicate it. We've also talked about how men are solution oriented and how we may talk for the sake of talking, or we may want to share our feelings because we talk about feelings or we write our feelings down so we can get it out and so we can share it. Well, when we are sharing our feelings, remember, not only are men solution oriented, but they want to know what the bottom line is. So we need to get to the point as quickly as we can so they will understand what we're talking about and they won't get lost in the details because we use a lot of words to try to communicate, whereas they may use fewer words, especially when they're communicating with us. A lot of times, and we have to pick our times when we want to communicate. If you are trying to communicate, if your husband works during the day and you want to communicate at night, then your spouse or your significant other might have used all the words that they want to use for that day. So you have to pick and choose the times. If they don't wait, if the spouses or your significant others don't work on the weekend, maybe you can pick a time and let them know that you want to communicate and that you need to share something with them. So again, choose the best time to communicate. All times are not good if you want to be heard. All words may not necessarily have to be used if you want them to get what you're talking about. So try to get to the bottom line as quickly as possible. So try to get to the bottom line. They need to know exactly what the problem is. So if you mention several things that are leading up to what you're trying to say, you may lose them. So try to key in or zero in on what the problem is. So we have to communicate, and we have to communicate succinctly. We have to communicate where your person can understand and hear what you're talking about. So a lot of times we accuse the opposite sex or men of not listening or not understanding, but they might not have really gotten the point that we were trying to make. And if we use a lot of details, they can get lost in the details. I see that I probably need to spend more time on how to communicate and when to communicate. I don't want to make these sessions long so you would stick with me. So I will continue talking about how to communicate and when to communicate. But I did want to share this with you and I wanted to start it today. So you know how to get in contact with me. I am on Facebook. My name is Dr. Natalie Woods. My email address is natawoods. That's my website. I'm sorry. My website information is www.natawoods.com. My email address is natawoods@yahoo.com. Please email me. Let me know what you think. If there's some other topics that you want me to cover, if you have any other suggestions or ideas, let me know. And I will see you the next time. Thank you and have a great day or evening. Take care. Bye bye.